This is my 5th year as a Maverick and my 15th year as an elementary school teacher. I began my career in education as a kindergarten teacher for 9 years, and then came to Liberty Tech, where I taught both 3rd and 4th grades. I am so pleased to further my journey as an educator by transitioning to the new Reading Early Intervention Program Specialist for next school year. My interest in Liberty Tech began as a parent. My daughter showed tremendous potential as a learner from an early age, and it quickly became apparent that the local county public school was unable to meet her needs. I was looking for a school where my child could be moved toward her full potential while being exposed to meaningful project-based learning. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, when you know, you know. I knew from the moment I walked through the hallways of this school that I had found the right school for my daughter. She was accepted through the lottery system, and we prepared to make it. It just so happened that the teaching position became available over the summer, and I was offered the opportunity to join the Liberty Tech Charter School as a staff member. Hand in hand, my daughter and I began our journeys as Mavericks together. That was 5 years ago, and now my little girl is preparing to begin middle school, as hard as that is. I know that choosing Liberty Tech was the best decision that I could have made for my daughter's education. When preparing my remarks for this evening, I recalled reading a quote that stated, "If a child can't learn the way we teach, then maybe we should teach the way they learn." This is a perfect summary of what we do best here at Liberty Tech. This school was built on the unique needs of our children, both academically and socially. I have watched my daughter and all the other Mavericks here at Liberty Tech grow and learn, all while building character through the virtues of prudence, justice, temperance, and fortitude we instill each day. I can say proudly that my daughter's journey through elementary school at Liberty Tech has been nothing less than stellar. Liberty Tech gives hope to teachers and students trying to navigate the water of education in today's world. The days of simply closing the door and teaching are now over. Nowadays, teaching is just a small facet of our job. Not only are we instructing, we are helping these children overcome the hardships and trauma these past 2 school years have caused. Despite all of this, our school has thrived. We continue to provide a learning environment that is compassionate and progressive, while not shying away from who we really are. The future is bright for the Liberty Tech Mavericks. We will continue to grow and expand in many ways, and I am so lucky to be a part of it. I am filled with excitement for the next generation of Mavericks who will soon join our family. I found at Liberty Tech what I could not find in a traditional public school, a place not to just fit in, but a place to shine.
Thank you so much, Ms. Freeman. Okay, next slide, Ms. Thomas. All right, so the development committee is led by Lauren Conway. She is our governing board president, but she was not able to be here tonight, so she has prepared a couple of slides, and I will just go over that for you. So fundraising, part of the development committee's job is to do fundraising for the school. So we did Chick-fil-A Spirit Nights through the drive-through, and over $2,000 was raised. So the board generously allowed the students from Ms. Robinson, the 7-8B STEAM class, to revamp the courtyard, which was also known as the Turtle Sanctuary. If you have not had a chance to see that area, you need to go see that area. It is absolutely beautiful. They have totally transformed it. It is a learning space. It's got like bigger games, like a chess set, and the students are thoroughly enjoying it. With the Maverick Fund, which we will talk about in just a moment, the board has raised $900. The strategic plan that the original governing board did when we opened in 2016 has been updated. I believe the board will vote on it in the next month or so, and then it will be on the website. To recognize teachers and staff, in December, the board came around with coffee and donuts, and then every month they do birthday parties to recognize the staff for their birthdays. All right, let's turn to the next slide. You've probably seen this on the website. You've probably seen this on social media. You've probably seen this come home in your students' folder. So the Maverick Fund, the board decided that The vision, we want to develop our individuals, our students, our mavericks who are knowledgeable, wise, and virtuous, and will positively impact the world. So that is the update from the development committee. All right, let's turn to the next slide. Now, this is the good part. Staff and students, this is my favorite part of this whole second school address. So I'm going to introduce both speakers, and then they're going to come up. Our first speaker is an 8th grade student who will be bridging on to high school, and she is going to come share with you why she loves Liberty Tech. So Ms. Claire Wilson will come up in just a moment. Then we went the totally opposite extreme. We have a kindergartner, who this is his first year, Maddox Wigley, will be coming to share what he likes about Liberty Tech. So let's give our student speakers Claire and then Maddox a round.
Last time I stood here was 6 years ago. I recited the story What to Do with the World by Kobe Yamada. Now, as an 8th grader, my time is coming to a close. It's an exciting time to be getting FDR once said, "We have nothing to fear but the fear itself." We have all struggled together with the many changes the school has brought forth during the ventilation. As a maverick, I have nothing to fear. This school has prepared me for life ahead as I always strive for maverick excellence. Some of my fondest memories here include taking our former principal to the wall, all of the projects and lessons that have been ingrained in my mind, and above all, meeting people who have become some of my best friends. So, as I get ready to leave this school, I will forever continue to be a maverick. I will do it without fear. I will take these memories so many more with me. I will not leave without, I will leave without fear. And to all my teachers, thank you. Thank you, Ms. T, for being my very first teacher.
And also, I like to read out stories and have fun. That's it.
Thank you, Claire, and thank you, Maddox. All right, next up, we have our Chief Financial Officer of the Governing Board, Mr. Eric Walker, to give you an update about the finance.
Thank you, Steve. All right. I'm Eric Walker. I've been on the board for a little over a year now, and I've been chair of the finance committee for I think about 9 months now. I want to thank Celeste and Eva for their help. Really do most of the work. I want to talk a little bit about our budget. So our budgeted amount last year was $4,734,782. We anticipate our budget being now for revenue $4,805,000, $4,805,774, which is an extra $70,992. Great. Our expenses, we also budgeted $4,734,782. We anticipate there will be $4,434,329, difference of $300,453. So we have an anticipated surplus of $371,445. Our checking account balance is at the end of April was $3,005,052.09. Our the next 2 school years, to be split, we received $500,000, basically $504,000 federal grants for use for personnel. Recently, we recently purchased 3 new smart boards. Uh, the teachers got a pass-through bonus, paid for about $2,000. Uh, we plan on buying some more Chromebooks and adding some additional personnel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. All right, now we have another Maverick. Mr. Noah Hill, come on up. He is one of our third graders.
Hello, I'm Noah Hill. Welcome to Liberty Tech Charter School. This is my favorite school, and I've been here since the second grade. We do a lot of project-based learning. We have 5 different specials, such as art, STEAM, Spanish, music, and technology. The thing that I love the most about LTCS is the staff members. They are very kind, caring, and they look out for you the entire school year or years that you're there. The thing about Liberty Tech Charter School is that this school is just very awesome. I love this school, and all the people who have helped me continue my journey in this school. That was my speech from Noah Hill. Thank you.
Thank you, Noah. All right, next we have Mr. Patel. He is our chair of the governance committee. So, Mr. Patel.
I'll start off with this school is awesome, right? So, just to give a quick overview, from the board, we have about 4 different committees that are committed to making sure the school achieves its goals and missions that the school meets in. As far as governance goes, we have a few priorities that we have on our goal. First is to make sure we have enough members to help go abide by our governance rules. Our goal is, internal goal is to have about 12 board members, and we have 7, which meets our goals. We have about 3 board members that are in the pipeline that go about to make sure all committee involvement that we are seeing today continue on. To give you an overview, last year, some key accomplishments. First, we did update our policies where necessary. You guys remember there was a meeting yesterday, but yesterday, continue to evolve policies where it makes sense and to make us progress. The second big, I call it, achievement here is the CPM score. So our state charter requirements that go about audit every year. And this past year, I'm not going to talk about it. I think we get to academics to show some of the scores were awesome. So we deployed some benchmarks. We can prepare ourselves not only financially, but also academically and soon to be operationally commitments to make sure we're not only meeting it, but also exceeding the state charter. That's a big goal out there. And then earlier this year, we got a chance to commit to a pre-K offering from the state. That is still in the pipeline. We, of course, submitted it, waiting response. But as soon as we get response, we'll obviously put some motion in play. And then finally, between Eric and I, we're a part of a subcommittee that's also looking at the long-term building options that we have. school that is given to us by Fayette County, we lease from them. It's a great school. We'll continue to look at other options as well. So just trying to stay ahead of any obstacles now. And finally, if you go to the next slide here, looking at our objectives over the next year. At our objectives over the next year, one of the things we want to do is continue to build on the board improvement. So we'll continue those efforts. If anybody here is ever interested in the governance at Liberty Tech Charter, got 4 email addresses where you can reach out. And then finally, as I said, we've made awesome strides towards our CPA score. We want to make sure we take this to another level. We don't even want, 95 is great. It actually meets and exceeds some of the standards that the state has in comparison to other charter schools. We want to make sure we're at 100. So taking a version 2.0 for that. And finally, I know Eric and I have been working on this for over 4 months now. But finish off the long-term building plan. Our goal is to make sure we have options that are available, and we can abide by those. Thank you.
All right, next we have another staff member. I would like to introduce you to Ms. Heather Peacock, one of our second grade teachers. Going back to kindergarten next year, she's very excited about that. So come on up.
Good evening, y'all. I'm a little nervous, so if someone wants to interrupt me to ask me to go to the bathroom a few times while I'm speaking, I feel a little more comfortable. This is the end of my 4th year teaching at Liberty Tech Charter School and my 13th year overall. I learned about LTCS from Melissa King. Her and my mother were team teachers forever with each other. And so naturally, when my mom saw Melissa move over here, about a year later, she followed so they could continue working with each other. I didn't know much about LTCS, but when it came time for their first exhibition together, I did come to the school and I was just blown away. See, I've worked in public school for the last 10 years. In my last 5 years in public school, I got very lucky because my mentor and my trainer was my principal. And he allowed me to think outside of the box and he introduced me to project-based learning. But when I found out he was retiring, I was very worried because project-based learning and student-led learning are very rare in public schools. The more I knew about LTCS from my mom and from Mrs. King, I knew it would be the perfect transition for me. So during my interview, I felt 100% comfortable. It felt less like an interview and more like a conversation about what education means and what it should really look like. LTCS gives me the ability to focus more on kids and what's best for them. Instead of having to conform to public school guidelines and follow curriculum that was created by someone in an office who has never set foot in the classroom. While at LTCS, not only have I become a better teacher, but I have witnessed what happens firsthand when you give students accountability over their learning. In the last 4 years, I've had 2 very unique things happen to me. The first was a serious spinal injury. And in the last 3 years, I have had 2 major spinal injuries and had to teach myself how to stand and walk again. The love and the support that I was given from my fellow teachers and students' families was one of the most beautiful things I have ever experienced in my life. From phone calls to meals to sitting with me to lesson planning to just loving on me. It is the truest form of community that I have ever seen. The second thing is that I got to live with 2 different groups of kids. I moved from kindergarten to 2nd grade last year, so I've had the opportunity to teach my first 2 kindergarten classes with Liberty Tech again in 2nd grade. This has been one of the coolest experiences of my life. Getting to watch these kids go from learning to write their names to writing multiple paragraphs is amazing. Sometimes I will just sit and stare at one of my kids reading a chapter book, remembering how hard we tried to learn our letters. So, I am beyond grateful for the opportunity to be here. So why do I want to stay at Liberty Tech Charter School as a teacher? It's simple. You, the families, and their children are amazing. These kids are what get me going. I don't have my own kids yet, but I feel like I have a part of that in each one of the families that I get to work with. So thank you for that honor of being a Liberty Tech teacher. And I have to say, I've taught 3 of the kiddos who will be speaking tonight, and
right, next, academic committee. So Mrs. Stewart is the chair of the academic committee, but she was not able to be here tonight. So Mr. Patel mentioned the Comprehensive Performance Framework, also known as the CPF. So it's basically how the State Charter School Commission grades the school, kind of our report card. So you can see our results from the very first year that we opened all the way up. And when we get the results, like this year we got the results from last year, so it's always a year lagging. You can see that the first year operational performance, and I'll never forget because I was a founding teacher, it was like, oh my goodness, we have lots to fix. The board, the principal worked really hard, changed a lot of things. That next year we had a much better score. You will notice in 1920, that's when the fun of COVID hit and the world shut down. We didn't do any testing because part of the academic performance is based on the milestones, the end of grade milestones that the 3rd through 8th graders take. So there were no scores, so we did not get a score out of 100 for 1920. This year, they also did not do a number score for the academic performance because last year the students, the parents had the option to opt out. They did not have that option this year. But we did meet the academic performance. The state is actually looking at and has submitted a plan to the U.S. Department of Education on how to build some baseline data this year and then moving forward how they're going to give that academic score. But you can see overall our academic performance we met. There was one area that we were not strong in, but it was because we did not have enough students that took the milestones last year. Financial performance was 100, and then the operational performance was 96. So what happens is we get a school, we get a monitoring information, we have to do a corrective action plan, and most of the items you can earn partial points. So that's what we did. So overall, very, very strong. Like Mr. Patel said, the goal is to continue to keep moving, if not stay at 100. All right, next slide, Ms. Thomas. So in our academic committee meetings, and we meet the third Thursdays at 7, and they are virtual, we talk about a lot of student data. For our kindergartners through 5th graders, we do IREC. That consists of what they call diagnostics, which are the assessments 3 times a year. I have put up here for a reading diagnostic 3 scores. You can see it's broken into 5 categories: mid or above grade level, early on grade level, 1 grade level below, 2 or 3 or more below. Research has been telling us since the pandemic hit that basically to expect students coming to school at least 1 year behind in reading. If you look at our scores, we have a lot of things to celebrate. Kindergarten and 1st grade had no students that were 2 or more grade levels behind. So that's telling us that our kindergarten students and the teachers, what they're doing down there is working because we're above what the research was anticipating that we would have. The percentage of students from 1 grade level or below has decreased in all grade levels, from diagnostic 1 then in the fall to diagnostic 3. The percentage of students in mid or above grade level increased in all grade levels. So basically, we want to move to the left. We just want to keep shifting to the left. And only 8% overall of our students in reading are 2 or more grade levels behind in kindergarten and 5th. That's big. That's big considering, and we're seeing academic gaps, but we're also seeing social emotional issues too. We're seeing not only we as adults have struggled through this pandemic, your students are struggling too. And just not knowing how to deal with their emotions, and then you're already behind, and there's just frustration. So our students and staff are just to be commended on the job well done. All right, let's turn to this next slide. Here's the math. Interesting thing with math was the research was indicating most students would be at least 2 years behind. Kindergarten through 2nd, large gains in math, and we moved from right to left, big time. In math, with the anticipation that students will be 2 grade levels behind, we we are showing more positive trends and moving them ahead. And only 7% of our students, which was less than reading, are 2 or more grade levels behind. Again, students and staff are to be commended on just a job well done. All right, next slide, Ms. Thomas. So our middle schoolers take the MAP assessment. The reason is iReady gives reading and math, but math gives math, reading, and language usage. So last year when we tried out iReady in middle school, our middle school teachers were like, hey, we want the language usage data. So our goal, they take the assessment 3 times a year. You can see that equal or better than 50%, that's the national average. Our stretch goal here at Liberty Tech is to have 65% or more of our students equal or better meet their stretch goal. So both of these programs I read in math, when the student takes the first diagnostic or the first assessment, it sets a goal for them to meet in the spring. We wanted 65% of our students to meet their growth goal. All areas except one is equal to or better than the national average. That's huge. We're coming 2 years off of the pandemic. That is huge. 3 areas are equal to or higher than 65% of our stretch goal, and math in the winter, they were below 50%. They were at 44%. So our amazing math teachers in the middle school came and said, this isn't working, let's split them into smaller groups and let's tackle it. And they achieved that 50%, which overall in math, again, 2 years behind, we're at 67%. That's huge. So even though math was the more anticipated struggle, our students are performing better in math. So that's, again, a really, really big win. So if you love data, if you want to know how our kids are doing, we encourage you to join the academic committees the third Thursdays at 7 p.m. Just go to the website, and then they're all virtual. It's maybe 30, 45 minutes. Ms. Thomas is on there with me, Ms. Gable, one of our 5th grade teachers. We would love to have you join us. All right, next we have 2 more amazing student speakers. We have Ms. Carson Atkinson, who is currently a student in Ms. Peacock's class, and she is a 2nd grader. And then following her, Cooper Nally, who was in Ms. Peacock's class last year, as a 3rd grader this year, will also be coming to speak. So Ms. Carson.
Hi, I'm Carson Atkinson. I'm in 2nd grade in Miss Peacock's class. I like Liberty Tech Charter School because we do lots of projects, like research and creative learning. Our President's Day project was amazing because we got to make a president and design a bobblehead or to a poster. We also have a business teaching. Also, all the teachers are amazing and sweet. But best of all, they help us learn. And those are only some of the reasons I like Liberty Tech.
talk to you about our school improvement plan for next year, which I think he gave most of you copies. So,
So a lot of the data, you use that data to create how we're going to move forward, how we're going to move. So the first goal is we wanted to focus on increasing teacher effectiveness, agency effectiveness. We want our teachers to follow we're really working together inside the school, outside the school. There are a lot of really smart, capable teachers, a lot of talent, a lot of knowledge. We need to create opportunities for those who work together. And so we want to create a community of teacher learners. We're going to work closely with RISA. RISA, if you don't know, is a collection of 9 counties that we work with. And they got this huge brand. So we got all these enforcements for free. We've got teachers coming in. They're not groaning about it, like, oh, I'm going to go get a reading enforcement. They're like, oh my gosh, I need to go get a reading enforcement this free. And so that's the kind of staff that we have. So I'm really excited about this. And we're going to continue working with for school. We've been working with them for a year. I mean, it is great that he's coming in and he's helping us move in a direction with the project-based learning that is unique, and so that it can be more individualized to support the students. We're really interested. So for kindergarten through 5th grade, we want the students reaching their stretch goals. So in digging into the data, we found that students who are, and that's just a benchmark measure. And so we're going to implement a lot of different things to help get the students to that place. And so I don't have a list of things up here, but on the paper you can see all of our action plans to achieve this goal. And so we learned that if students reach their stretch goal, like 20 to 25% of them have 2 years of work, which is huge. Now, this doesn't mean that the kids are going to be like on iReady all day. That's not what we're just using iReady as a benchmark to measure where they're going. So a lot of the things that we know work for kids is having a workshop model in the classroom where teachers are working with small groups. That's important. All teachers should be doing that. That's what we look for when we're checking lesson plans going into the classrooms. Also, we have students that go into discuss these things that almost got into enrichment, like that close, because we want to challenge those students in lots of different ways. And so I know next year, Discussing is also going to go and collaborate with teachers to try and create opportunities to challenge students in more areas. That's awesome. We also want to be more intentional in our use of iReady. So we got some training things set up that we want. And we're also restructuring that. So, we don't use iReady, we use math as English. So I have a bell curve here, and it's split up in all the standard deviations. And so we want 75% of our students on the right side. We want to pull them along. We have some really brilliant kids, but they're, as you know, we've had some challenges the last couple of years. We're not making excuses. That's not what we do here. We don't flinch in the face of adversity. We come up with solutions, and we move forward, and we get creative. And that's the beauty of a charter school. We get to be creative. If we see things and we need to make changes, we can do that. And so, some of the things that we've done is there are opportunities for students in the morning to go tutoring, reading, also math. We are able to hire an interventionist who is going to, she's brilliant, she's going to have a better, she's great, she has a real depth of knowledge on how to support students. So one of their students' electives is going to be going into work on their math skills. So we're going to try and use this data and identify students who are like lowest standard deviation, like the lower 25th percentile. And we want to bring them up. And so we're really excited about that. Also, last goal, it's attendance. It's required, got to be here. Okay, so our goal is 95% or higher each month, and we did that in August. Haven't done it since. Got really close, really, really close. But I did want to talk about, like November, we were at 92%. That was our lowest. And I did the math, and then it turns out like November is only 17 school days. And if you look at it, that's like 2.3 absences per student in the school for November. That's a lot, you know? But I know that we have illnesses, we have challenges, and we have things like that. Just be cognizant of that. It does have an impact on the student if they're not. So we're going to try and put some things in place to, encourage families where there are lots of absences to help support them find out what's going on. We have a lot of resources to handle that situation, so just let us know. So those are our goals. I'm sitting here listening to all the teachers talk and all the students talk about what they know about the school. And so we made these goals based on like the numbers, the metrics, because the federal government and the state requires us to do that. But as a school, there are some intangible things that we have that you can't measure. And we have a different yardstick. That's what's great about this school. The teachers are passionate about what they do. And the students are excited to come here and learn. You can't measure that on milestone, but we see it happening. And we are moving in the right direction. So I'm excited about what we got going on next year. I've only been here a year, but I've seen so many amazing things happen. And I'm really blessed to be at this school. So I think we have a couple more students.
Hi, I am Alexandria Butler, and I'm a first grader here at Liberty Tech. And I am so excited to talk to you guys today. One of the things I love most about my school is that all the teachers are so nice, and that makes me very eager to learn new things. We also have a great library filled with books that take you on amazing adventures. I also attend the after-school program, and we have so much fun doing projects and playing different games. Thank you for your time and supporting Liberty Tech. Have a great evening, everyone.
Hello. Hello, I'm CJ Boxall. And today, actually, a couple of days ago, I first was to speak here tonight, and I really it's a very honored to be here because when I came to Liberty Tech, I had a big gap in math, and when I got here on my first day, I was on the breakfast team. This time, it's a bunch of other teachers. I love the teachers because they help me feel like I really excelled at reading and math. Traversky, Ms. Phillips, and Ms. Marks for this time. Some of these reasons I love it so much is my one of the first reasons is the teachers and the staff. They welcome you every morning with this, and they don't really get so angry at you if you have this. They give you that leverage on student and teacher relationship, so it's not like they're so big. But they understand that. Another thing I love about it's project-based learning. When I came to this school, I had no idea what project-based learning was. And I really got to experience that. For example, English opportunities and PhD class, we got to fix the purpose of transition, which went out we call fun, project fun. Some of the things I loved about that was I was able to budget $3,200 into our project. So that was pretty good. I love that this came with us to do it for this school. And the last thing I want to talk about today is the safety measures for your safety. And they really teachers will go out of the way up and beyond to make sure you're safe and you really good.
So I think these out to some of you. This is our we also need feedback. Read over it, there's a QR code on the back. It's in there. Leave a little bit more feedback. Okay? If you didn't get one, come see me after. Okay?
Thank you, Alexandria. CJ, I want to tell you something about CJ Boxell. I don't know if he remembers this or not, but when I went to listen to Ms. Robinson's students present about repurposing the courtyard area, at the end of the presentation, he told me he was going to be president one day. So CJ is going behind you and you. So now it is time to celebrate. Oh my goodness, I kept adding and adding and adding and adding. I've got a second slide, probably should have put it in the third slide because I don't know if you can see it in the back. So we have so much to celebrate this year. First of all, we are in person. That's the first thing. We have been able to have 2 amazing exhibition nights. One in December, A Journey Through Time. One in April, Mavericks Impacting the World. You probably saw that April one if you attended. The 2nd through 8th grade looked a lot different than it has in the past. The walls were not covered from top to bottom, side to side. It was much more student-led, and next year's are going to look even more student-led. You will see the staff standing back as the facilitators and the guides, and the students are working with experts, community members, and so we're very excited about that. The transformation of the old courtyard areas was a big one. Ms. Freeman's 4th graders made seed paper. 3rd grade sold pickles and blueberry muffins. 2nd grade repurposed the whole old kindergarten area. The parents, it was amazing. Kindergarten and 1st grade had a separate exhibition afternoon. It was amazing. We'll get to that in just a minute. We had monthly town hall meetings with parents. We do them virtually. We want to continue that with administration and parents because we need your feedback. We need to know how you think, what you're feeling, what's working, what's not, because it takes a village and we need your input. We have been, from the day we opened, we were accredited through the Georgia Accrediting Commission. We had our initial engagement review with Cognia, which was formerly Advanced Ed. And I am proud to say, when they came in for our engagement review, Mr. Schoening, Ms. Smith, and I, boy, we were sweating it, we were nervous, but we were glad, we were ready to show them all the amazing things about Liberty Tech. And so they met with parents, they met with board members, they met with students, they met with us, they met with staff, they met with everybody. And so we are now recognized nationally as an accredited school across the nation. We are recognized, the parent organization of Cognia is North Central Central Association Commission on Accreditation and School Improvement, Northwest Accreditation Commission, and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Council on Accreditation and School Improvement. If you've been an educator, you also know that as SACS. That was in schools when they came in, you got a little nervous, but we did, it was an amazing process, and they were very, they actually said in our closing interview with Ms. Smith, Mr. Shunning and I, they were like, in the short time that you guys have been open, we're amazed at what you've been able to accomplish. And again, that it takes all of us, it takes a village. So the State Charter School Foundation every year has a contest called the Art of Connection. And Ms. Murphy does a great job. We have many students that turn in and submit work. In the middle school division, we have the first and second place winners. The first place winner was Mr. Dylan Porter, who was a seventh grader, and Ms. Addie Brown, who was an eighth grader. I also, you probably saw on social media and through the newsletter that you could nominate teachers for Shining Stars. Well, that information has not come out yet. So I emailed Michelle Gilling today with the State Charter School Foundation, and I said, I'm not going to steal names. I just want to know, can you tell me how many staff members were nominated? She replied back, we had 14 staff members nominated. 7 of them were nominated multiple times, and we had the most nominations of Shining Stars for our staff members out of all the charter schools. As soon as those winners come out, and as soon as that list comes out, I do have the names, so I can't tell you just yet. But as soon as those winners come out, I will let you know. I have a feeling we're probably going to have a couple of winners, not several in the school, but that's to be determined. Okay, next, one of the things we started towards the end of this year, we started after-school clubs for our 4th and 8th graders. We had chess, we had finance, intramural sports, student council, Dungeons and Dragons, believe it or not. Wow, do these kids, along with Miss Burns, like Dungeons and Dragons. And we even had gardening. And we'll talk about the gardening in a minute, because that's one of our next steps. We hired an after-school director. She is going to manage all after-school extracurricular activities. We'll talk about that in a minute. In finance, and in Ms. Kessler's class, our students participated in the stock market game. It's basically an online simulation of global capital markets that engages students in learning about the world of economics, investing, and personal finance. 4 of our teams scored in the top 10 out of 50 teams. Our first place team came in 39th out of 2,938 teams across the state of Georgia. Let me just tell you those students. In first place was Isaac Ross and Savannah Maxson. In second place was Lindsey Burns. In 4th place, Victoria Land and Kate Kelly Morgan. And in 6th place was Kellen McKee and Gavin Gallagher. Another thing that we were able to participate in, so our exhibition night for 2nd through 8th grade was on April 22nd. That next day in downtown Fayetteville, they had their Earth Day Festival. So our 2nd through 7th graders participated in the Earth Day Festival on Saturday, April 23rd. Our 3rd, 5th, and 2nd graders were over by the gazebo at the market day, and then 4th, 6th, and 7th graders were over in the New City Park behind the New City Hall. Our 7th graders sold materials out of recycled items and raised money for hashtag Teen Speaks. Let me tell you about this student fundraising. They put us to shame. This is how much our students, in a short span of March to April, have raised over $8,000. Students. Back 2 months ago, House 42, one of our middle school houses, raised over $1,300 for Royal Animal Refuge. Then our kindergartens and first graders, the first graders said, hey, we want to raise more money too. So at their exhibition night, they adoption agency for animals and cats and dogs raised over $2,100. Our 6th and 7th graders who made bracelets, they took bottle caps, they made out of just plastic bottles, pencil containers, they took cards, beautiful cards. They raised over $291 for #TNCs, which is a nonprofit organization that helps keep our oceans clean. If you didn't have a chance to go down that principal hallway and see the amount of trash that goes in our oceans, it is shameful. That is amazing. Our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders raised between Market Day and the night of exhibition night $1,692 for our LTCS garden area. Our 5th graders who did some fundraising for the LTCS garden and several other local nonprofits. They also sold concessions at the Annie play. They raised over $1,100. Okay? Our Annie Junior production and performance raised almost $3,000 through our drama department. Again, that is a total of $8,133 that these students, with the guidance of our staff, raised for our school and these organizations. That is amazing. That deserves a round of applause. All right, we have our last staff speaker, and then I'm going to come up and just tell you what's next. What's next for Liberty Tech? Where are we going? So, before that, I would like to introduce you to Ms. Parks. Used to be Ms. Parks, now Mrs. Connor. So Ms. Connor is one of our middle school English language arts teachers. She's also one of our founding teachers at Liberty Tech Charter School. So, come on, Ms. Connor.
Hi, so like Miss King introduced me, I'm Michelle Connor, and I'm the 6th and 7th grade ELA teacher, as well as a founding teacher of Rachel. I know sometimes people are really a teacher, a big deal, but it really is. For me to think about when I was here from the very beginning, that's huge. I mean, I have a heart for the school, I love the school. As a matter of fact, when I even heard about the school, I was very happy at the school that I was at. I was at another charter school. I didn't even have intentions of leaving. But let me tell you a little bit of background about how and why I chose Liberty Tech. So when I went back to college to finish my teaching degree, my favorite professor at the time asked me to other students to help develop the curriculum instruction for a school that he was helping to start from the ground floor. We worked on the materials for about a trimester, and our ideas were centered around students that were creating projects that are relevant to the real world, so what we like to call real world experiences. We knew that if students were to retain any kind of information and actually enjoy their learning experiences, that the information had to become very relevant to them and be real to them. They had to be part of the learning process. So, fast forward in time, and I went to an interview, and how the interview got set up was very strange. That same college experience, I was there with another lady at the time, and we became best friends, and we were the ones that helped to create this curriculum instruction for the school. And so she called me up and she said, "You're not going to believe this, but there's a new charter school that's starting. It's 10 minutes from your house. And these ideas that they're presenting are the things that we wrote about in college. These are the curriculum instruction that we planned for the school." And I was like, "What? No way." And so I got in contact with Mr. Stewart and sat down and interviewed with him, and he started talking to me about the direction the school, Liberty Tech Charter School, was going. And in my heart, I knew that all schools should be like this. Why aren't all schools like this? And so I was very excited, and right away when he offered me the job, of course, I was like, "Yes, I'm doing it." And fast forward to today, we are still doing this. The same direction that we started at the very beginning, we're still doing this every day. And this past exhibition was probably the most exciting for me. And the reason why is because you can feel the energy. My students started from the very beginning. They came up with the ideas for these projects. They were the ones that were leading the way. They were the ones that were developing, designing. "Hey, Miss Connor, can I do this?" "Of course you can, honey." They made children's books. They designed jewelry. All the things that they did were them. They were student-led, and I knew it was kind of like we came full circle.
it was the driving process. They were leading, they were driving everything. And the thing that I loved is at exhibition, they were like, proud. They were like, this is mine. I did this. And they were showing their parents. They were showing community members. They were going and showing, teachers, principals, that this was something that they could do. So Liberty Tech Charter School is more than just a building. It's a way of learning. I love to say, when people ask me about my school, what do you love about it? And the thing I can say that's all encompassing about us is we are a family. From, the littlest kindergarten all the way up to principal. Everybody knows everyone, and we truly do have that love for each other. My favorite experience this school year was with my 6th and 7th grade readers. They spent the day in 2nd and 3rd grade classrooms, and they were reading with these 2nd and 3rd grade students. These connections between these children, those are still there. These kids see each other in the hallway. They high five, they give each other hugs, and they say to their teachers, and they say to me, when can we do this again? This was just so great. I believe in this school with all my heart, and I know that one day these learners that we see every single day, they're going to change the world. I see students like CJ, and I remember the first time that I really got to know him, and he was telling me, I'm going to be president one day. And sometimes when kids say things like, okay, yeah, of course, yeah, that'll be so great. But I really truly believe that this young man one day is going to be president, because I see where he started out and where he's become. And Liberty Tech Charter School, you are Liberty Tech Charter School. So I can't wait to see not only CJ and Claire and all the other students that I taught, but everybody. I can't wait to see what they bring, because guess what, guys? They are the future.
Thank you, Mrs. Connor. And a little thing about Mrs. Connor, so that first year when we opened, there was about 22 of us at open school. I've been teaching for 16 years. The hardest thing I ever did was open the school. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And so we were like, we need a motto. We need something that says who we are. So we are Mavericks facing the future with the goal of changing the world. Actually came from Mrs. Connor. So that has stuck, and that's what we truly believe. And like she said, it's what we believe, it's what we want for our Mavericks. We want them to go out and impact the world in amazing, amazing ways. All right, so what's next? So Mr. Walker mentioned that we received a $500,000 ESSER free grant, and we are spending it all on personnel. Currently, Miss Amanda Marcus is the instructional support coach and MTSS coordinator. We have split that. And so next year we will have Mr. Marcus as instructional support coach, and then Mrs. Smith is moving into the MTSS coordinator position. We are really excited about that. We are going to be providing our teachers with training on how to provide interventions for our students. So Ms. Smith will be taking over that role. After school director, we have hired Ms. Tyler Morrison. She has started, she's doing a great job. As was mentioned earlier, Ms. Cohen, who was a teacher here, stepped back during the pandemic. She worked with a lot of our virtual learners last year. She's now a pretty much long-term sub. She is going to take the position of math interventionist, remedial teacher for our 6th through 8th graders. So what that means, our middle schoolers get to choose 2 electives. There will be a specific number of students that we choose based on certain criteria, and that math class will be a second math class as an elective. So she will be teaching standards below grade level so that it will continually, we're just closing those gaps. So we're really excited about that. Okay, one of the things we were super excited about, and this was actually Ms. McGunn's idea, which came in to me one day. I was like, yes, and did I say yes? And oh, one more thing, yes. So she suggested, because right now our kindergarten classes are 22, 23. Even with a teacher's assistant, that's a lot. And then with the social gaps that we're seeing, the academic gaps, that's huge. So we have hired a 3rd kindergarten teacher and a 3rd first grade teacher that will have 16 students per class with a teacher's assistant. Because we feel like if we can get those basics, those foundational skills in them little, then they're going to stick by the time they get to 3rd, 4th, 5th, and even middle school. Extracurricular activities. We are going to offer after-school clubs for all students, so grades K through 8. We are also hoping to, we had a couple of years ago after school sports for our middle schoolers, where they participated. We had basketball, I think we did soccer, and so we're looking to bring that back and actually have them participate in a league. And again, our after-school director, Ms. Tyler Morrison, will handle, she'll be in charge of all that. We talked about the specific 6th through 8th grade supplemental math class. Ms. Kessler is actually here. She really wants to start a running club before school. So the kids come in at 7:30, they go outside, they run the track. Research does show that that movement does help them to sit and focus better to start the day. So that is another thing we're looking at. As Mr. Schoening mentioned, the professional learning development for our teachers, we really want to focus on teaching with math manipulatives. We do a great job in kindergarten and sometimes first grade of putting those manipulatives in front of them, but then we rip them away. And we go straight to the abstract. No, with math, we need to teach concretely, put your hands on it, touch it, build it, create it. Then the representational, how does that look like? How can I put that on paper? And then we teach them what we learned in school as the traditional algorithms. So we really want to focus on that mathematics instruction. As Mr. Schoening also mentioned, it's our final year of training with Dr. Tyler Thigpen, who is the head of the Institute for Self-Directed Learners. And so we will see, we really want to see more learner-led, not just exhibition nights, but classrooms, where that workshop model, you're differentiating. The teacher is a facilitator, the guide, because you know when kids come in, you've got levels from here to here, and you've got to meet them where they're at. And you can't do it. It takes work, and we want to just actually help our teachers really get there. And then, as I mentioned, all the money we raise, so Miss Freeman has always had a passion for gardening. But she's like, you can't have one person run it for the whole school. So our goal is to really expand our garden or have it as an outdoor learning area, and we have a staff member joining us next year, Mr. Jeff Eller, who shares Ms. Freeman's passion for gardening and outdoor learning. And so our goal is to really take the funds that our students raise and really start expanding that area in the gardening area, and it be a hands-on outdoor learning space for our students. Okay? So with that being said, let's have this next slide. I just want to thank you because again, it takes a village. We, the staff, cannot do it without your support. We really can't. We know this has been a challenging 2 years. We appreciate your patience through this. Maneuvering when the pandemic hit, none of us knew what to do. None of us knew how to handle it. And so we appreciate your patience. We know last year was very hard. Everything was tightly down. We didn't do a whole lot in person. But this year has been great opening up. And I just want to say thank you. And I want to leave you with this final thought that even you, as a parent, we are mavericks. That includes you facing the future with the goal of changing our world for our students and then showing them that they can change the world for the better. So thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be hanging around. Mr. Schoening will be hanging around. If you need the school improvement plan, we would love your feedback. So thank you to all our staff, students for speaking, and thank you everyone